What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today I want to take a little bit of a look at the Hero Drills event. The Hero Drills event is the currently running event in AFK Journey, and I want to talk a little bit about whether or not this event is the right way to go forward with future events, or what they should change, and I want to show off some stages that I either liked or that I found are a bit weird. First of all, well, we recently had the Astral Fair event, so I will probably compare it a little bit to that one. The Astral Fair event in itself was a bit problematic. It featured different challenges that were available through different times during the day, so people felt forced to enter the game at specific times, which didn't really fit the theme of an idle game. An idle game where you can take some time off, some time not, where you not play the game and feel never really forced to log in, except maybe like once a day or something like that. So in that theme it didn't really fit, because if you wanted to get all the challenges, well, you had to log in 2 times, 3 times, 4 times a day at specific times, which isn't really like too great. In contrast, the Hero Drills event is something where we had multiple stages. We have those 4 stages down below with different stage amounts, and those weren't unlocked at the beginning of the event, so we had like 4 stages at the start, then another 4, then another 5 a bit later, and then finally the 6th. And you could play them whenever you wanted. So personally, I didn't look at these stages at all, so I cleared it today, all stages in one go, and it took me about 20 minutes really. Most of the challenges that we face here aren't really too difficult. I think I spent the most time at this first stage, Stun the Enemy, which isn't really too complicated of a stage. I think we can battle it again. You basically are just supposed to stun the enemy with Soren. The problem is, it looks like a tactical drill, so you kind of tend to just start off like this, and when you do your first ult, which we can do, is just a little bit of a close one, let me check. So when you do your first ult, which you should do at this position to move the enemy towards the rock, it doesn't quite work because the enemy isn't close enough to the rock. And many times I didn't really notice that what you can easily do for this stage is move the character. And if you just move it over there, it works. Well, you just have to move it 1 stage to the right. Then you don't even have to do it by yourself. You can just let the auto handle it. I didn't know that I could move the character. It was a bit confusing. I saw some posts about this stage really, where other people seemed to have the same problem. But other than that, after I noticed that, it was quite alright. It was just this first stage that really looked like a tactical drill. And there were many stages that were quite fun. I think at the end we had this move and attack stage, which I really liked. Because this is funny, you don't have to do anything to clear this stage, but it looks quite fancy because it's just Wraec running away from the enemy, shooting at this enemy from the top of, I don't even know, is that a chicken? Some mutated super chicken? I'm not sure. But it looks quite fancy, and you kind of get a feel for how Wraec works. And the theme of those stages where you kind of get to know a hero a little bit better, those are the ones that I kind of like the most, because we also have that here, Upgrade Aroma. And basically those stages teach you a little bit of how the hero works, because in this stage you will see, you get to know that actually Smokey can deal damage. Even if you haven't unlocked the level yet, you can go ahead and clear that. And that is also one part of this that I really like. It's more about how you use your hero and how you set your heroes, and if you know the skills of the hero, rather than if you own that hero now at Supreme Plus or something. That is not really required. You don't have to own the hero at all. You can just use the heroes that are provided for this event and can just try yourself at beating those stages. So in that terms, in the terms of gameplay and gameplay perspective, I think it is a very good event. Sometimes there are things that play a role to clear AFK progress stages as well. Don't really want to look at this right now, but for this stage, for example, it says avoid control effects, and what they mean is they provide you with Smokey as a hero here. And usually that Smokey tends to get stunned. You have to kind of position your heroes in a way that this doesn't happen. And of course, you can see how other players have cleared it. Here we see clear with different ways to do that. And the idea is really to teach you, okay, you can position a hero in a way where you don't get stunned, and then you are suddenly successful at this stage. So I kind of like that part. And they are fairly well balanced, so you kind of need to fulfill the objective of most of those stages. So you won't really clear this stage unless you manage to not get your Smokey stunned, which is pretty good. So from the gameplay side of things, it was on the lighter side. It wasn't like super insanely difficult, but it was quite enjoyable. So I personally liked that really much. The loot side, however, I didn't like too much. We have pretty good loot at the start with like 30 tidal essence. This is pretty good. There we have another 30 tidal essence. So for that it is rather nice. In terms of temporal essence we get 50, which is not too bad given you don't really need anything to clear this. But yeah, for most players, if you have a decent ranking in Dream Realm most of the time, then you kind of get more from there anyway. And during the time of this event, it's not really a whole lot, and not really the whole lot where I felt like, okay, I'm looking forward to really getting it. Still, the Omni Icons in here and the Temporal Essence might just end up giving you 1 or 2 upgrades. And together with like the pretty good gameplay and the gameplay side that I appreciate, and the little time effort you have to put towards this event really, because if you do it just at like one evening or something, and you spend 20 minutes on it, it's quite alright. You can just do it whenever you have time, and in that perspective, it is a very idle event. One thing though that I have to point out, it is great as a side event, but currently it is like the main event keeping you in the season. Because there is not much going on. We have the clan reputation, yes, where I have to do quests again. Definitely have to do that this evening. Don't have to forget it. But other than that, there isn't much really. And if you are progressing like I do, then most of the time you have cleared most of Duar's Trial. Supreme Arena is getting a bit stale, even though there were some switches to it and I should set up a new team. We currently have Battle Drills, which is good. But other than that, well, kind of slowing a bit down. So the event should be a little bit more interactive, I think. And not just what feels like a side event. It feels like a side event. It feels like something they put on the side and where you say, oh, that's cool that it's there. Not really like the big event that you can advertise and that will pull you towards this game. So in that sense, well, you should not overestimate this event, but it's decent. So would I appreciate side events like this during the gameplay? Of course. Like, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. It doesn't have the flaws that Astrofair has. It has a decent-ish amount of loot, even though there are no summons in there, which I would have liked. Maybe some Stellar Crystals would have been great, also with the Talene release coming up, which, by the way, I haven't made a video on for a pretty, yeah, lame reason, really, because the way this worked out was they released this post on Facebook that they now released in-game as well with this picture of the Stargate station and some symbols in the back here. They released that, and I thought it was like accidental or leaked because they deleted it right after. And then I thought, okay, they leaked it and didn't really bother to take a look. Only for Barry Gaming to tell me that he made a video and they reposted it like 3 hours later. So yeah, that was a little bit weird. But maybe we'll talk about this topic a little bit because I'm a bit short on Stellar Crystals. And yeah, not too great the situation I'm in, because I don't really know if I want to go into the trolley and like buy a ton of limited bundles, because it's rather expensive really. 3,000 for like 45, which often ends up to be 1 copy. So I would need to get to at least Mythic Plus, so probably buy all of that, which is yeah, kind of a lot. It's 100 USD per pack, so if I buy all of that, 600. It's quite some amount. We can get 1 copy easily. Maybe we'll do some tests with that, and maybe I will hop on some viewer's account or some guy's account that I know and maybe test it there. That is probably what we're going to do. But the time between Fresto and now Talene coming up felt kind of short, to be honest. Personally, right now, looking at the way I approach this, I kind of regret actually going for this guy, Burial, because he saw so little use on my account. I actually upgraded him to Supreme Plus, which is quite the investment. And so now I have more important heroes, which are definitely Fresto. Fresto's fine at this level, but like Dianel not upgraded, and kind of would need to have some Stellar Crystals saved up for Talene now. So it's kind of a bit of a bad situation for this account, really. Yeah, but given that, we'll see what happens. I will see and I will ask Community Manager when the release is. We'll probably do some form of live stream, probably for testing, and then we will see what happens. Still, Thank you guys. Tell me your opinion about the Hero Drills event down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you prefer Astrofair? Did you play those events? Tell me that down in the comments below. I'm really curious about that because I pretty much enjoyed it. So with that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.